Time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hi, guys. Welcome back. I feel like we just did this. Okay, guys, we're back to talk about the Real Housewives of Dubai, and man, what a Beverly Hills recap. Now, before we get started, I know I said this in the last live, but if you weren't watching our Beverly Hills recap and you came back for our Dubai recap, well, you can see the banner at the bottom. I just put the link. I pinned it at the top of the live chat. But Jason and I are going on a road trip tomorrow to go see my dad for Father's Day, and we will be live streaming that to members at 2 p.m. Eastern, which is 11 a.m. Pacific. So hopefully we get to see you guys there. Now with that, don't forget to smash that like button, and let's welcome Jason. Good morning, afternoon.
Good morning, afternoon. Back to back. You have me like working this morning.
Yes. Gotta work, girl.
Gotta work.
All right.
Oh, Dubai.
Oh, Dubai. Dubai's bringing it for me. Like I said in the Beverly Hills recap, and I don't want to keep talking and going back to that, but the first episode got me. The second episode I felt like was a little bit of a snooze fest, but episode 3, I'm back in it.
Hey, I am too. I mean, last week, I think when we were recapping it, I felt kind of bored with the episode. I was like, I don't know. But like I've said, and like we've said, this is a new franchise. It takes a while to warm up to the dynamics of the women. It takes a while to understand, just get to know them, basically. And we're getting to know them a lot.
Right. And I want to ask you and everybody in the live chat, because there is a lot for us to unpack. And Jason was just going over the points with me, and I was like, oh shit, that did happen. That did happen. Okay. So Jason, with this being the 3rd episode, and mind you guys, we do need to give it some time to get to know these women. It's a totally new franchise. We have a lot to kind of look forward to, but we also have a lot of time to invest to really see what kind of people we have, that we're working with. So Jason, what would you give this episode? A 1 to 10, 10 being the highest?
I don't know. I'm really bad at this because every time I do give a number, it's always opposite of what people think. But I'm going to have to say it was like a solid 6.5, right? I mean, we're starting to see there is a huge dynamic here, that there are 2 front runners in this franchise. You have Chanel Ayan, you have Caroline Stanbury. And I don't know if they're going to be friends. Part of me was like, I see them coming together and having this kind of resolution, but I don't know if we're going to get that.
You know what's so funny is you made a comment last time, and guys in the live chat, also go ahead and rate this episode. But you made a comment last time saying, watch, they're going to end up being friends by the end of the season. And I was like, but will they? And then
I don't know.
At the premiere, here they are.
Yeah, I mean, they're all together at the premiere of the show. Of course they're together.
But Lisa Milan, she shaded her on Twitter last night saying, listen, girl, you're a spectator. We've barely gotten anything from you out of the last 2 episodes. So you're a spectator, and we're going to hear more about the toy boy later on. And then we have Chanel Ayan, who's claiming that Caroline Stanbury's relationship with Sergio is only one for the cameras, and really off cameras, it's not the same dynamic.
Which we can 100% call BS on.
Yes.
I do have to say that. We can refute that completely, because when you did your interview with Caroline Stanbury, which was one of the first ones you had on your channel, she kind of it talked about the relationship. I think not even did she talk about the relationship in the interview, or just with you, or just on the podcast?
She said that she's in a new relationship, but she wants to give it a year before she officially goes public with that new relationship. She wants to give it time, let it breathe, figure out if this is something that is really.
This is almost 2 years ago, by the way.
Yeah.
Or a year and a half ago. No, 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
That was before Dubai was even being thought of. So I don't think it's just one for the cameras. I do think that they're heavily involved in social media. They have their own YouTube channel. They're very fluffy and stuff on Instagram and stuff. But Caroline is an influencer, and people love to debate that she's not an influencer because she only has 587,000 followers, which I think is pretty much, that's a lot. But it's really the quality of the content, who's watching, who's engaging. She has high engagement. Her stuff is usually quality. Like, of course she's an influencer. I think she's an influencer.
It honestly kind of blows my mind though. Like I agree with Caroline B when Caroline takes Caroline B to this kind of like med spa sort of situation where they do surgical, non-surgical stuff, whatever. And it's like that little thing that goes on your stomach. And then they like have like the little machine to like pull back your skin on your face. And you see Caroline's photos posted everywhere. She also said that she was the first blonde woman to ever appear on a billboard in Dubai. So when she talks about being an influencer and the hotel that she stayed in with Nina and their kids, everything's laid out for them, tons of food, it's over the top. It's crazy to think that she has 587,000 followers and that she gets everything like this for free. She even got to live in her house for free for a while. Yeah, because she's actually, an influencer. And then you have like the Vanderpump Rules cast who have 1, 2, 3 million followers, and they're definitely not getting the same shit. To be fair.
Like I said, quality over quantity, friends. Quality over quantity. No way in hell would I have, and no offense to our friends on Vanderpump Rules, any of them representing my brand.
I mean, Sheena does 50.
Well, that's different. Yeah.
You're like, so does everybody else.
Everyone does 50. Dana Wilkie does 50, doesn't she?
Okay, no shade, Dana.
No, I'm not shading. I'm just saying like everyone does it.
Okay, so I do want to talk. Let's start with Caroline really quick because Caroline's daughter, we get to see her a little bit in this episode. And we're hearing that, you know, Sergio wants a baby and she's trying to figure out how does she give him a baby? He wants a baby of his own. And her daughter's like, no way in hell. We are not doing that. That shit's not happening. And she's like, if he wants a baby, then let him go get someone else pregnant. But mom, you're not having a baby with this man. And Caroline's like, well, listen, you guys can obviously tell that she's my daughter, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking in my head, Caroline, do you really want to do this again? Because your kids are young, but I'm not Caroline. And that's not my decision to make. Listen, but I really do enjoy their relationship.
I do too. I'm not Caroline. I'm not a woman, so I can't decide. I don't know if I would want to do that later in life. And it was interesting to hear Yasmin, I think it's her daughter's name, right? Say that Sergio is a man child. He doesn't need a child. And I was like, what? Do the kids not like Sergio? Did I get that wrong? But then later in the episode, we see that he's going to take out Caroline's son for like a boys' day. And I don't know.
And, you know, she did say something that was kind of a little strange where she said that the kids kind of look at him like a big brother because he likes to play around with them and have fun. And maybe that's what she means by man-child. But
well, I think too, like she also explained, you know, not only is Sergio a stepdad, but he's like a big brother to the kids because of the age. And also no one wants to, who has a father who's still in their life, have a stepdad come in and completely replace them as a father figure. Right. You can be there. I didn't think that was the best way to describe it.
And she even pointed out it wasn't because of the age gap that her kids would have been skeptical of any man that she would have brought into the house because that person is not their dad. And that is true. I can say that from having a ton of step parents. Like when they would come in, I would go through like the hazing process and be like, oh,
you're not my mom. Okay, you're not my mom.
You're not my mom. Yes. Guys, 100 in the room, smash that like button. But I want to talk about, where do you want to go? Sarah Al-Madani or Lisa Milan?
Well, we didn't see, first of all, okay. I want to go to two places really quick. And I think the first one will be really easy. We learned this episode that Nina Ali loves French fries, 100%. French fries. Caroline even said that in Atlanta when they were staying at Atlantis and then at the fashion show. But this is my point is Nina Ali for me has been kind of since the beginning from the first episode. I know we're only 3 episodes in, but I like her, but there's just nothing like happening. There's nothing there. Like when French fries is your thing for the whole episode, I'm just like, well, I need you to put in a little more. Yeah. Just my opinion. Sarah Al-Madani is someone who really interests me since episode 1. We didn't even see her until halfway through this episode, but it was interesting to hear her story about being a fashion designer and having all these fashion lines and going bankrupt twice. And now she's in tech and she's an interesting person. She calls herself conservative, but still likes to rebel with her tattoos and her way of life. But I really enjoy her on the show. And right now she's still kind of middle ground. Like she's not like
the front runner.
Not even the front runner, but she's like that. She's like the star waiting in the back. Like I feel like we're going to see her kind of step forward to center stage a little later in the season. But I just find her so interesting, and she doesn't get catty.
You know, I also want to say this too. Yes.
Yet.
Caroline has gotten a lot of shit, Caroline Stanbury, because she keeps on kind of refuting a lot of the things that have been said about Dubai, like what they can wear, how they can act, how they can just everything. And people are like, why are you sticking up and, you know, going so hard for Dubai? And Caroline keeps explaining, I really love the city. And one of the number one questions that I get asked is, do I need to cover up? Do I need to cover up my knees all the time? And we watch her walk into Atlantis with her kids with a shirt that barely comes under her bra, right? And then she's showing complete like midsection, and then she has her pants on. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, obviously she can dress however the hell she wants. So if she's refuting those claims, it makes sense.
I don't know if she's refuting him, that this is her experience in Dubai. And you know, Dubai is made up of 85% expats. So it's a country of like the foreigners, you know, similar to the US. But like, I think it's the respect. She explained that it's the respect, like be respectful of the rules and of people's lifestyles and religion.
Culture,
I'm guessing. I don't know. I'm really confused. However, everything that we said that we wouldn't see, or that they have said we wouldn't see on the show, we have seen a plethora of. Ladies dressing how they want, drinking, fashion shows, gay men. Like, I don't know. You know, I've been there. I experienced it for a few days. It was fabulous. I'm American. I probably had a different experience than many other people going to the country, of course.
Brian Scott Patterson said Caroline, as a British national, has separate rights than an Emirati national woman. Yes. I believe that.
Yes, exactly.
And Elaine Hargate said, went all mom mode with the crop top. No. Okay. Sarah, so beautiful without makeup. Oh my God, fire. Now, amazing. Since we're talking about Sarah too, she said that she transitioned from the fashion world into the tech world, and she's invested in NFTs and a few other businesses, but now she's really thriving, and she's, you know, kind of made that transition in business. I want to know more about her. And I would, like you said, way rather, you know, sit there and invest my time into Sarah Al-Madani than Nina, only because I don't give a shit about the French fries. I don't care about that. I don't want to even hear about it. And you can also tell where Nina really just, she wants to be friends with someone, right? And that's why not Caroline, but Chanel Ayan is calling her a flip-flopper, because she talked a lot of trash about, technically she talked a lot of trash about Caroline Stanbury.
And that was brought up when they were at Atlantis. She said, you know, that when you and I first got on, you know, Caroline said, people think I'm standoffish. People think I'm better than everyone else. Cue a glass of champagne coming from the butler, by the way. Yeah, that was like, so funny last night. She's like, oh, thank you. You know, but the thing is, she doesn't like small talk. She doesn't want to sit there and be invested in something that will waste her time. I understand that. Nina feels the same way. She's just not willing to open up. So maybe there was like a break in the communication, but apparently, according to the other ladies, Lisa, Caroline Brooks, Chanel, Nina used to talk a lot of trash about Caroline.
She called her ghetto.
Yeah, but I think that was like the nicest thing she said about her. Well, so I wonder if, yeah, right. But I wonder if you're going to see any more of that kind of conflict come up later between Caroline and Nina, if that's going to be brought up, or if they've already like squashed that. I feel like they admitted to each other that, like, yeah, we didn't like each other. We didn't want to open up to one another. You know, there are also ladies in their 40s who, you know, recencies in lifetime. They, you know, you're not trying to make new friends all the time.
And, you know, it's funny here. Ndub said, I like the shade that one of them threw about being an influencer. No, Caroline B did say that she's like an influencer, but why? But you pointed out that her engagement is really high, and that's what makes her a good go-to influencer. And that's why she gets a lot of things for free. So that makes sense. But for Lisa Milan, I do want to point out that she had her fashion show, and with the help of Chanel Ayan, right, she gave us a little bit of the backstory. When she first launched her brand, she thought she booked two separate models, Chanel and Ayan, right? And when she did, one model showed up, and she's like, where's my other model? She's like, I am Chanel and I am Ayan. I am Chanel Ayan. And I'm like, okay, this is great. But she's helping her with this fashion show, which I thought she did a really great job. It's called Mina Row.
Mina Row, and it started off as just a maternity line, and now she's expanding because, as she says, you know, maternity clothes, they're return customers. I mean, it's not like you're, you know, come 2 years later, because it, you know, I mean, you're having a baby, right? And then after you have the baby, you're not wearing maternity wear. So I think that was a very smart idea to expand, and her stuff it looked kind of nice. But this was a great storyline to watch the introduction of how Lisa and Chanel came together, and how Chanel kind of became Lisa's muse, I thought was very interesting. And it was really fun to watch Chanel just like put together the models, just
And
some
we
of her
learned she has a
comments.
talent agency.
She has it. Yeah, she has a modeling agency.
She was trying to make sure, she's like, no, I'm going to book this shit up and I want to get my paycheck. So you only have what, 9 girls right now? You need 14. We need 5 more girls. We need to, she's like, I need to
I
get
think it was
paid for this.
15 girls and you need 20 because I want to get paid.
Something. Yeah, something like that. And I was like, okay, Chanel's trying to get that check. That's good. But she was also helping her behind the scenes. And like some of the women were saying, even Sarah Almadani, while they were sitting there at the fashion show, she's like, this is so great and nice out here, but I know for a fact backstage, it's a shit show. And it kind of was, because some of the girls had the wrong shoes on. They're all trying to get these little fake bellies on. It was a little all over the place, but I like that she's doing this transition in her business and she's showing growth and she's showing that, listen, this can be done. And I love a good positive storyline like that. It was
now
also
I wonder.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I thought it was interesting too to find out that her husband was her main investor and also the CFO. But going into next week's episode, I don't like the way that he talks to her.
I was just going to bring this up. It looks amazing and everything, but where's the money coming from? Is the business thriving, profiting, anything? This is probably why he's having this, like, I did not like that preview clip either. And the way he spoke with that tone, the way he spoke to her, but he might be frustrated that this is just, is this just like a hobby business, or to make her feel like she's doing something while he's making money? You know what I mean? I want to know more of this story.
Right. But I wanted to ask you before we bring up a few callers, this whole situation with Lisa and Caroline. Now, Lisa went out with Chanel and she told her, what's kind of annoying is I've been planning this event. This is one of the biggest events in Dubai. It's Dubai Fashion Week. And, I've been planning this for a long time. Everyone who's anyone will be attending this event. And then just a couple, days right before the actual fashion show, Caroline ends up saying that she doesn't want to go. She can't make it. She's not available. And Lisa feels like that's a little bit of a blow, but Chanel's like, that's probably because of me. She doesn't want to be around me. And Lisa's like, no, that's not for you to like take on the chin. That is on her. If she doesn't want to do that, that just goes to show she's not showing up. She's not being a good friend. This is really shitty of Caroline. But in Caroline's defense, she's saying over here, I don't feel like this is the proper place to have this conversation. I know if I show up, we're going to have this conversation. And this is not about me and Chanel. This is about Lisa and her fashion show.
Yeah, I mean, really, should she have bitten the bullet and just gone and just not had the conversation that night and showed support? For sure, if that's your friend. However, I understand that there was a lot of talk behind Caroline's back, and maybe she's like, this is not the time. I don't feel like I want to be there because of what's been said, whatever. Well, that's a good point, JMW. 3rd episode, Stanbury only films with Nina.
Yes.
We'll see.
Guys,
we'll see how that plays out.
I'm dropping the call-in link if anybody wants to join. JMW, thank you so much for the super chat. And also, she added 15 while Crystal eliminated 14. I don't know what that means.
I do have to say that Chanel Ayan, so the Ayanisms that we're getting are really funny. I love how she's so working on her English. She said, I'm getting better with my English. Now I know words like verbatim. And then she said, the other day I went to the bank and told the guy, give me my money verbatim.
Yeah. And listen, I can see why Andy Cohen is really going hard for Chanel. And he said that in his however many years of producing these shows, he's never met a housewife like her, but she is a standout. I am completely shocked because I thought this was going to be the Caroline Stanbury show, but just like JMW said, 3rd episode, Stanbury only films with Nina, but also she filmed with Caroline B, because they went to that Medi Spa situation. And then she also filmed with Sergio, but she didn't have a whole lot going on this episode.
Yeah, there wasn't. Chanel Ayan is bringing it for sure. I mean, she is the like kind of breakout star too, but she's also, you got to think she's a winner, right? She came from Kenya and she worked her ass up. She didn't even know what modeling is. She got into modeling in Dubai. I mean, like she's been, nothing stops her, right, from being successsul and winning. So I really appreciate her attitude. Actually, I think it's kind of,
she also doesn't take
refreshing
shit from anyone, which
at all.
I love that.
And she was great on Watch What Happens Live too.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, she was with Crystal at the moment, I think.
Someone said I didn't post this. Guys, if you want to join in, into the or as like a caller, you guys can call in. I just posted the link and I put click the link because someone said that the link wasn't there, but the link is there. You guys can click the link to call in. Jason, when it comes to this whole feud with Caroline and Chanel, are you over it already? Do you want to get past it?
No.
What do you feel?
I love it.
You love it?
I love it because it's not like a feud. Like, let's say it's not a Sutton and Crystal kind of situation, or it's not a feud between, it's not deep.
Right.
You know, and I do love watching this dynamic. I always have with Housewives. You know, for me, Beverly Hills just went a little too far. It's gotten a little too, you know, dark. I mean, it's getting better. Don't get me wrong. But I like this dynamic, and I want to see how they each handle it, because they're both very strong women who are very opinionated. And I just want to see this play out.
And do you think, now this is another question, because I asked on Hot Messy Topics on Monday what people think about this, but Phaedra Parks was on the Wendy Williams show with host Michael Rappaport. And when she was, she talked about how she had businesses in Dubai. She has a CMOS business and she has an electric company business, whatever, and she's buying a house in Dubai. Is this something, are we interested or no?
On Dubai?
Yeah. Would you want Phaedra Parks to come to Dubai or no?
You know, I think I heard someone say on your live the other day that they're neither here nor there with Phaedra, and that is the same for me.
That was Joe Mendoza.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, there are so many other, I mean, I did a video when I, was talking about stuff on my channel with a whole list of ladies who could be potential housewives of Dubai, and there is a longer, better list than Phaedra.
Okay. And I think,
in my opinion,
and we've already seen Phaedra, so it might be weird to do the crossover, but I think for the Real Housewives of Dubai, I'm really hoping that Nina steps it up. I think she's gorgeous, but I don't think that she's like very exciting. I love Lisa. I love Sarah Al-Madani. I think Chanel's amazing, but Nina's not the most exciting. She actually looks like a brunette Caroline here.
Yeah.
I don't think though that Andy will cut her from the second season, even if she doesn't fully bring it this season, because he probably wants people to invest and get to know these women. And then after season 2, if she still doesn't bring it, then I'm sure she'll probably be cut.
I mean, listen, we say this now about Nina, but we haven't gotten through the season yet.
That's true.
She could be boring French fry lover at the beginning and then come out as a knockout at the end. We just don't know.
I mean, listen, let's bring up a caller. It's one of everybody's favorite callers. She's back. She was joining us for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and now she's back for Dubai. Hi, El Michelle.
Hi. Oh, I just cracked my voice.
Hi, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. We can hear you.
Yeah, okay, I can hear you guys now.
All right. So how's Dubai treating you so far? Are you into it or no?
I enjoy Dubai. The first 2 episodes were really good. I feel like this episode was kind of slow for some reason. Just to me, I feel like maybe I'm not a fan of Caroline and is it Nina right now? I do feel like they're the 2 boring ones that I find. So it's like when they're on the screen, I'm just like, I can go wash dishes.
You're like, I'm good. I don't need it.
Okay. Yeah, but just right now.
Do you agree with Lisa and think that it was kind of, I mean, honestly, excuse my French, but shitty that Caroline didn't show up to support her fashion show? Or are you kind of understanding that Caroline didn't think it was the right time or place to go, especially with her and Chanel Ayan not getting along?
I understand with them not getting along, but at the same time, if I came to your wedding event, I came to your bachelorette party, so do me the solid and show up for some fashions. I'm like, everybody likes a fashion show.
Point. Yeah.
And if you're such a big influencer, like it would be, even though Lisa said there's so many other people coming, it's not going to make or break anything, but it would still be nice to have the support.
Yeah. And that's the thing with these housewife shows. I feel like you want to be included when the whole cast gets together, because to me, that's when it gets juicy. That's when it's like, and also I don't want to be the lone one out, because I know everybody's going to talk about me anyway. So it's just they're going to be talking about you, and the fact that you're not here, you are influenced. So why didn't she show up? You showed up for her. Oh, because she's talking about Chanel. You're not even in this conversation. So like, that's how I feel about it. And the fact that she called them, oh no, that was Brooks who called her friends Ren and Stimpy and Dumb and Dumber and all of that.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Caroline Brooks, I have to say,
She's
has a lot
shady
to
as hell,
say.
but I love it.
She is shady. She has a lot to say about every single lady. So I mean, like, I live for it because it makes the show interesting. But I wonder if that's going to come back to bite her in the butt.
And that's why I actually like this group of women. They're like unapologetically 100% behind whatever they say. Like everything they say, they stand behind it. And like I can't wait for the reunion because I want to see what happens with Brooks, because even on Watch What Happens Live, when Chanel was on there, she was saying, like, I love Brooks. We have a weird relationship, but I love her. And I honestly, I kind of love their relationship. It's like we can shade each other, but it's never going to be to the meat. Like I'm not going to cut it deep,
It kind of reminds me of a more subtle relationship that we see on Potomac between Giselle and Karen. Because like they always, when they're not on camera, we can see that they get along. They do okay with each other. Then when we're when we see them on the show, it's like they know, okay, cameras are rolling. I hate you. I'm going to take your ass down. And then cameras are off and they're like, hey, girl, how's it going?
Yeah, and I feel like that's what makes when you have like housewives that have a friendship outside of the show, I feel like that's what makes it good. Because if I don't even like you to begin with and we are shading each other back and forth, you're going to cut deeper than necessary. I feel like you have to have a friend in that environment who the cut is not going to be too deep that we're going to sever all ties, if that makes sense. But I feel like Brooks, if she doesn't let up the gas with her shade, she could find herself without the new frickin' frack.
I mean, listen, and I did want to ask you too, guys, don't forget to smash that like button. But Michelle, I wanted to ask you, since we're 3 episodes in and you felt like this one was more of a snooze than episode 2, which I kind of found that shocking because I felt like episode 2 was kind of a snooze.
You know what? I just not thought about what was episode 2 about. So you probably are right. I was like, what was episode 2 about?
It was about that damn goat, which we got to see again. They found the goat.
They found the goat
back. They're feeding the goat.
I just want to say Chanel Ayan is legendary on so many levels, because right now I just wait for her to show up to know what's the gift going to be. Like, I just like, what's the gift? Like,
the freaking lemons.
I loved her walking with that pot because no one knew what was in there. And then when she did that, I was like, I wish she would have said what she said to Lisa to Caroline, like, because lemons are bitter. Bitter. The way she treated me, I was like, this is fantastic. Like, do you think of these? Does this just come naturally?
I went to the bank and I said, give me my money verbatim. What? Okay,
she's fantastic.
So how are you rating your favorite housewife down to like the one that is the least interesting to you on this cast?
Chanel Ayan is number 1.
Okay.
I want Brooks is number 2, because I feel like she's gonna keep the pot stirred.
Yep.
I like Sarah. I just feel like she's gonna be a constant truth teller and trying to get past the BS or get back through the BS with this group. I like Lisa, and then Caroline and Nina are a flip-flop for me, because I was interested in Caroline because I remember her from the Ladies of London or something like that.
Yeah. And
I liked her her bitchy vibe. I'm sorry, I'm not sure if we can say that word here. I like my housewives to have a little bitch with them. So I was excited to see that, but right now she's just giving me a rich woman who has a young man, and I'm over it, kind of. I'm not interested in it, to be honest with you. I really can't wait till next week, because I really feel like next week is when it's really going to pop off, and with Lisa and Caroline, when she says the thing about, satisfying her husband. So.
Yeah. And also I want to see the dynamics, because when we first got introduced to Lisa and her family, and I think that her kids, like just her whole family dynamic, it's cute. But then her husband, I was like, this is a nice looking guy. Like it looks like this is a great dynamic. But watching the way that he talked to her in the upcoming episode, I want to see what was the context behind it and like what was actually going on. Because of course they're going to give us like this cringy moment and make us almost hate him. And we're like, okay, wait, we got to see what this really meant.
Yeah, I felt like it was a cringy moment, but in but it's like it was a cringy moment, and I felt bad for them. I'm just like, ooh, this is not gonna look good for your marriage on TV, girl. But in the same moment, I was just like, well, he's the financial officer of the company. Like I almost expect him to have these conversations with her, but it's just the way you approach, like it's the way you approach me. It was condescending, but we're handling business at the same time. I know a lot of women in the chat are probably like, no, if he talked to me like that, but it's just like he's the money person, and I have to show him where the money is going. I want two sides of that particular coin.
Okay.
I'd have to agree. I'm excited to see, like, well, not excited, but I want to see how that plays out and what that was about.
That's the thing, is like we always get left.
I feel like as a woman, I have to be like, I'm sorry. Go ahead,
No,
Adam.
please.
Go ahead, Adam. I'm sorry.
Oh no. I was saying. Oh no, you go. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I was just saying, I feel like I should stick up for women. Don't talk to women like that. But at the same time, I'm in business, so I understand. Like sometimes it's just like it's the bottom line. This marriage has to come second in this conversation.
I mean, that's why sometimes it's hard to get in business with your partner.
Yeah, that is very true.
Well,
and with maternity clothes.
Yeah, with maternity clothes. She's like, sit the hell down, shut the hell up. You are not the creative director. You just run the money. And he's like, exactly. That's why I'm talking the way I'm talking to you.
The only way you'd be a creative director is with money. So
yeah. I feel like creatives and money people, when they're working together, is always going to be a headbutt. It's always going to be a headbutt. Yeah. I feel like that's why, I know it's a different show. I feel like that's why Candy and Todd work together, because they're both artistic. And it kind of it works for them. So I feel like when you have two people on opposite ends of the spectrum working together, you're asking for conflict, but it's all about how you communicate and work through that conflict. And I really hope Lisa and her husband make it. I hope they are successful. I hope this show does not tear them down and break up their family, because they have a beautiful family. They have an absolutely beautiful family.
I agree. I agree.
So, yeah.
Al Michelle, thank you again so much for calling in. We appreciate the heck out of you, and we can't wait to steal you back next week for more Beverly Hills in Dubai.
Yes, you guys are great. Have a good afternoon.
All right, you too.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, Jason, before we wrap this up, somebody said poor Jason. Poor Jason, why? God. Before we wrap this up, what are you looking forward to most next week?
Well, the same thing. I want to see what's going on between Lisa and her husband. And I think we're going to start to get some pop-offs. Remember, it took like a few episodes for Salt Lake too. But I do want to say what I really do love. I'm going to end on a little high note here about these women, is they already know who they are.
Right.
It's not like, in Salt Lake at the very beginning, I felt like everyone was playing a part. Like, oh, this is my character that I have to play. This is my character that I have to play. Oh, I'm like Lisa Vanderpump or whatever. But they came into their own. Now Salt Lake is on its own. But these ladies came in on, like, they know who they are. And I really like to watch their dynamics. And I'm excited for next week now.
All right. Got
a little scared last week. I was a little bored. But
well, we'll see. I think that next week's episode, I think it's going to get better and better. And again, it takes some time to invest ourselves into them. But I completely agree with what you say. We had a Noella Bergner who came in as a fan of the show, trying to act like what she thought would be best for camera. And then you have a few different housewives that are new to the franchises, and they do the exact same thing. But Salt Lake City, it just seems like they are their own women. They're strong women. And it doesn't seem like they're trying to emulate any one particular housewife. They just are who they are. So that part, they've got me. Now, yeah. You two are funny when he does something that you don't like. Well, make it make sense, Queen. If you think that we're funny and you want to join us tomorrow again, as we wrap up, we are doing a road trip tomorrow. We're going to go see my family. I know I said this in the last live, but we're going to see our family, my family. End up, new member, yes. Join us tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be live streaming from the road. Ask us whatever you want, Q&As, topics. We'll talk about all of it. It doesn't necessarily have to be Bravo related. That's not the point of memberships. And we're doing behind the scenes. So we will be recording my family this weekend. Jason will be putting together a vlog, so that'll be fun. Trish, congratulations to your son, Jack, who's graduating from high school today. You have to run soon. We're sending you all the best. Great conversation. Thank you so much. I always pop in and out. We love that. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Jason, thank you. We love you guys. Don't forget to smash that like button, and we will see you tomorrow on the live. Bye, guys.